I'm out on another walk again today. This time I'm walking in West Sussex as ever, in West Chiltington, around West Chiltington and towards Nutbourne, I think, pretty much. It's only I think about 2 mile walk, just a very simple one across the country around here on footpaths that I have not been on. There's so many footpaths in Sussex, of course, you spend a whole lifetime getting round all of them. I kind of am doing a bit of that in my videos. This is very much buried away really in the country here in West Sussex. It's a bit of unexplored countryside, although there's a lot of expensive houses, some beautiful old cottages, but I don't know what we're going to see on this particular walk, so let's go and investigate it and see what we see. Anyone spot the difference? I am. I've changed. I thought, as I was just about to head off for the walk, the sun suddenly broke from the overcast clouds, and I thought, do you know what? I think it's going to warm up really much. And I thought, I haven't gone very far, so I dived back to the van, put my shorts on, got rid of my tank top, and here am I, so much better for it. Right, let's see where we're going. That way. Beautiful trees. Ash trees and well, all sorts of trees here. We've got, looks like hazel, holly. I'm just passing. There's a number of little routes that we could take, and the one I have taken I don't know anything about, not been on it before, but I think to my right are vineyards, and if I carry on I think I'm going to get to the Nutbourne Vineyard where the windmill is, Nutbourne Windmill, that I've made a film with Windmill Bob the other day, but I may just circle round before we get to there. We'll see. Well, I was definitely right about the vineyard. This is the Nyetimber Vineyards. As you can see from the private property signs, you're not allowed to obviously wander through them. You don't want anybody damaging the crop. Nice to see grapes being grown here. And actually, I just saw a glimpse. I don't know if my camera, I haven't got a long lens with this camera. I don't know whether you'll see it, but the Nutbourne Windmill is up ahead of me. I may not quite go that far, but we'll have a look, see where the paths take me. But fascinating to be out here with all this fine grapery around. Well, the sun keeps coming and going. It's quite difficult setting my aperture on my camera here, but hey ho. What's interesting, I think, is going through the vineyard there, it does remind you that we have a lot more grape growing in this country than, well, I mean, as I remember as a kid. And of course the Romans were very good at growing grapes. Here we go, look, overexposed. Let's see if I can get that down a bit. And it was warmer back then in the Roman times, much warmer, hence they could bring their grapes and grow stuff. And it reminds me, really, we had a report recently about this climate crisis and how the world is warming up thanks to global warming. I don't want to go into that in any great detail now on this, except to say that we have had warmer climes in this country and it hasn't been detrimental for us. In fact, it was a huge benefit that people were growing much more, and with the carbon dioxide in the air, of course, plants like carbon, they thrive on it. In fact, they grow more abundantly. So I think it's a good thing that there's warmer air and more carbon. Now, I may be missing something, and I'm sure people will be happy to tell me what I'm missing, but to me it seems advantageous. Couldn't really get a very good picture, but in this grove of trees just on my right here, there's some cattle milling about. I think this is brilliant. I think this is the best way to have cattle. So they've got shade from the sun, and also they're rooting around in a field that has a bit more interest for them than perhaps just a large field with nothing else in it. I think it also is a bit more like their natural state, if cows ever had a natural state, certainly not these domesticated ones. I'm on the return part of my walk now, past Nyetimber Farm, which is just in this tiny little hamlet of Nyetimber. Beautiful houses there, old cottages and what have you, but quite substantial, probably worth a mint. And beautiful views back down towards the South Downs as I encircle my way down this quite narrow footpath at the edge of their property and the edge of the vineyard. And very soon I'll be crossing back across the vineyard back towards West Chiltington. And it's been a very rewarding walk, actually, even though I've been skirting around in a very short sort of duration. It's funny how you don't have to go terribly far to actually see quite a bit of landscape heritage and indeed nature. The size of this big oak tree here on this embankment. When you see big old oak trees like that, clearly it's been here for donkey's years, quite big girth, so perhaps 300 years, which means that this hedgerow is very ancient. And also you can count the species. I forget what there's a thing, isn't there, you count in a certain length so many species, tells you approximately how old that hedgerow could possibly be. But one of the signs is, of course, old trees, particularly oak trees, because they are slow growers. So who knows who's walked along this footpath many years ago. Well, the day is warming up nicely now, and I've turned back onto the vineyard through the grapevines, and this will bring me back to the path that I was on before when I first got onto the vineyards. I'm just trying to see if I can see. I can't, it's all hidden behind the trees in the background, the Nutbourne windmill, which I could have done if I'd gone on a bit further. I noticed in the field behind me, which is also vineyards, there are some very beautiful but quite old chestnuts. And it makes me wonder if this area, as many areas in Sussex, were farmed for chestnut trees, for chestnut wood, and whether that had been abandoned and perhaps this land was originally then cleared for the vineyards. I don't know, I'm just speculating, because it's very unusual to see a number of chestnuts one after the other, particularly in a line. They're not usually avenue trees, and they're very much trees that are coppiced for their wood or their fruit, their nuts. Anyway, that's it from me for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this walk. It's been lovely to get out into the countryside once again. So don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, become a patron, support what I do, and I'll continue to bring some of the outdoors to you on the indoors. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.